Hey guys, what's up? I want to come at you today with two defenses here. First one's a nice little nano that I like to run occasionally. It's a 4-3 over. It's really effective against certain types of players, especially players who want to push the ball down the field. It's out of the 4-3 over. You can find it out of a ton of different playbooks. I think it's in multiple D. It's in 4-3, as well as plenty of different team playbooks. So what you're going to do is you hit 4-3 over. Blitz called Will Blitz 3. So we're going to come out into Will Blitz 3. I'm just going to come out and empty here just for simplicity's sake. Now, I like to take the corners and put them in those deep halves. I like to take the safety, put them in a hook. Now, this leaves the right side open. This is all dependent on what your opponent wants to do. And this is the way the play would look. Let me reset. This is the way the play would look stock. So I could take, sometimes I'll do something like that. And drop, make it more of a cover 2, after I do something like this. But primarily the way that I've come out of it stock is I got A on the hook zone like this, and I got the two safeties in the deep halves. And what I'm going to do, you want whoever your fastest linebacker is, you want them at this blitzing position. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in the A gap and I'm going to fake blitz here. Well, not fake blitz, I'm going to assign them to a blitz. And what ends up happening is Russ is rolling immediately, which isn't helping. Let's see if we can get this right here. Go right here in the, and you're going to engage, and as you can see, it's hauling. So one more time just for simplicity, so y'all know that wasn't a fluke. So you're going to fake blitz, you're going to get close in between that safety, and he's coming. So in between the center and the tackle. So the reason you want your fastest guy there, he comes free a lot, and you'll see what the offensive line does on the snap of the ball. See how they shift. They shift right, and then you can bail out. But by the time 76 realizes it's too late. So he's coming around the corner, and Russ is having to take off. Now, the reason I like him in hook zone, you see he's coming to the purple, but the hook, you see, goes back with that seam route. So don't get me wrong, he can still hit him. That's not nearly as easy of a throw as it typically would be. So let's count here. 1001, 1002, he's already running. And he ran him down because that's a fast linebacker at 88 speed. Now, the reason, and I want to show y'all one more thing, which is the reason I really like this blitz a lot. It tends to do really well against play actions. So we're going to come out in the Will Blitz 3. We're going to run, let me find, there we go, that's a perfect example right there. So we're going to run PA read. Now, like I said, this is not 100%. There are some play actions that do better than others. We're going to put them in just like we did before. And I didn't cover that real well. But a lot of times what happens, they'll run that play action because it gets a little bit better. Now, I'm going to contain here because you can also do that. Sometimes that helps you. Up there it goes. And when you contain, he's hitting that seam route because I'm not able to get back to it. But a lot of times it does a lot better against play actions. Another thing that's kind of nice about this blitz, it didn't do it against that one. It's certain play actions. Now, there are some, like that one, for example, was eating it alive. But it depends on the play action. I'm not going to sit here, hide from y'all, and say, oh, well, it's perfect against all play actions. It will work against some play actions, but there are some play actions that will still work against it. It just depends. Let's say I'm looking for one where the running back is blocking on the opposite side of the blitz, because you'll see this actually a lot more frequently than I care to admit, where you'll have a guy who will have the running back on the right hand side, and what he'll do is he'll block. Here we go, dig return. You got the tight end on that side. We're going to do the same thing. And he was open on that one. So they leave somebody in the block. It can come through, it can not come through, but they don't leave anybody in the block, and it's humming. I don't care what the circumstance is. It's called the Will Blitz 3. And like I said, if they come out, been up against a lot of guys that have ran a lot of empty lately. They come out in trio, for example. That's another thing. This formation, you definitely going to have to make adjustments. If they come out in this trips, you want to flip. So otherwise, it'll come out and you'll have to make an additional adjustment for the linebacker. You hike, see, he hikes the ball, and it's still coming. Now, one of the things that I will warn about running this style of defense, you're going to get hit with exactly what you just saw a lot, which is why, like I said, a lot of times I'll make an adjustment like that, where it looks something like this, because a lot of times, let's see if he does it again. He'll hike the ball, and we're still coming. He didn't end up throwing it that time, and it ended up causing a fumble. But one of the reasons I'll run it like that, especially sometimes when they come out like a trips, is for that exact reason. You see what happens? He hikes the ball, and because I got that flat there, he didn't end up throwing it. Now, he could have hit probably that halfback wheel route. That's a difficult route because he's got to throw it right now. He didn't throw it, and now he's hauling. So it's a pretty effective blitz. It's something that I definitely would say you need to move into your rotation, because it can definitely be seriously effective. I've run it a lot more than like I said, than I care to admit. It wins me a lot of games, and it's just because of the fact that it is just so fast. If they do not leave a blocker in, he is humming. So we'll watch that one on replay I just wanted to prove my point. So hikes the ball, we engage, and D-tackle actually came through on that one as well, because the center engaged with me. And as you can see, the left tackle, see, they all shifted right, but then he tries to pass off, but he's already by him. So he takes off. So that's a nice little effective defense. And it's also very good against shotgun runs in particular. So I would definitely give that one a shot. It's a really nice little nano to incorporate in your scheme. Now, the 4-4 split is probably one of my favorite red zone defenses, and this cover 3 in particular. Now, there is one adjustment that I like to make on it, especially in the red zone. I want to drop those curl flats about 20 yards, 15 or 20 yards. It depends on where he's at, but if he's on the 10, 20. Now, the reason for that, and we'll come out in this, and we'll go into H Pro, which everybody runs constantly. We'll go to stretch. And I'm sure that I'll fail at doing it because, you know, I'm trying to record for this, so I'm sure it won't work now. But what I like to do is something like that. Crunch the line in, crash them out, spread your linebackers out, and take this safety. And you want to be constantly moving. So right there, right, he gets like 4 yards, but I didn't even really crash it. And what I'm doing is I'm dropping those two corners into flat zones. So you got 2 hook zones, you're rolling with the safety, and you got the 2 curl flats that should drift back about 20 yards. So let's see it again. When he hikes the ball, you're able to get in pretty good position to make a tackle. There's not a whole lot of running room for him there. It's pretty effective. Another thing that'll happen a lot, if he tries, and again, what I like to do is lean on the stick, but since it's since the computer, they're not going to really let you lean on the stick, but because they won't hike it otherwise. But you want to go ahead, and I got him running inside zone, and you're coming from so far back that, see, you're able to cut him off, and then Reg's able to make the play. So on the outside run, it covers the gaps real nice. And on top of that, if he runs the inside zone, see, I cut off right in that little gap there, and the linebacker was too far out. He shakes him. I force him out right into that linebacker's weight and arms. It's a really nice little red zone defense. I wouldn't run it a ton between the 20s because it's hard to get good pressure out of it. Plus, you're pretty vulnerable in the middle of the field, but you honestly could run it between 20s. I just wouldn't recommend it because the safety is kind of the one. You can play with the linebacker, but I recommend the safety in the red zone. Now, another reason I like it a lot, let's say they come out in something kind of like that, right? If they run, now it is susceptible to those RPO bubbles, but you can always take the linebacker if you feel like he's going to do that. But let's just say like levels, perfect example. So we're going to do the same adjustments. I'm going to take the safety, pretend like I'm leaning on the stick here. He hikes the ball. He's able to find him there because Reddick bailed out. But a lot of times what will happen is the onus is on you to make the good play here. But a lot of times what will happen is he'll go to hike the ball, and there's really nobody in great range there. So right there, Russ wins in, but it covers those sidelines really well. And a lot of times you'll get these guys that they'll hike the ball, and they'll try to go to the flats, or they'll try to go to somewhere else. And as you can see, the right at the line is pretty well covered. Now, he could still hit 88 there. He chose not to. But it just depends. If you think that he's going to attack that area, another thing that I'll do is I'll run cover 1 out of this, and I'll man align, press up, and then what'll happen is, right, it looks like man, but what I'll do is something like this, right, and then because he's out there, I let the running back go because he's probably running the flats, and watch now, he hikes the ball. And he hits the underneath route, but you got man everywhere. Because it's all man on the computer, they're going to hit it. But it's one of those defenses, it's a really solid run defense. Another one you can run out of it, which can be effective. I don't particularly like it a ton, is linebacker fire. Now the reason that I would run something like this would be in a circumstance where they're in something kind of like that. And basically what they're doing to you is you're going to spread them out, and he's going to hike the ball. But basically what that is saying, okay, I want to see if I can get some kind of pressure. But that's something that you more want to spread out and crunch the linebackers down, more or less. And what I would do personally is something kind of like that. Because basically, and of course he makes the perfect read on the play and throws it immediately because it's computer on all Madden. But like I said, it's a nice little red zone defense, this cover 3. It's pretty effective against the run. It is definitely not bad against the pass. I know right here the computer's tearing it up because this is why you don't get an all-out zone against the computer. But like I said, because you got the safety, you have a lot more freedom to move. The linebackers in this game are not nearly as reactive. So with the safety, for example, right there, and this is why I personally like this defense, especially the deeper they get in the red zone. They're pretty far on the 10. I mean, they're easily in the red zone, but on the 10 is not exactly the perfect place to throw this. Right here, he's covered. So a lot of times he'll switch off, and the underneath's covered here, and he thinks he's open because he should be. But if he doesn't make that high point pass, you're going to be able to jump that with the safety. And you're, 10 yards behind there? So it's really a quite effective defense, especially the closer you get to the goal line. But anyway, y'all, that's it. Like I said, please like, comment, subscribe if you found it helpful. That 4-3 will blitz is the primary thing, but I want to bring up the 4-4. I know a lot of guys struggle in the red zone, and like I said, that's a nice change of pace. It really works well against the run. Try it out in games. Let me know what you think of it. Until next time, though, I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. And again, just please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, y'all.